good evening, or morning, or afternoon, whatever it is for you. This title is football related. What? This is a baseball podcast. Yes, primarily, this is a baseball podcast. That is the genesis of how this show was born. And that will stay how it is because baseball gets mentioned in every episode. So that is the requirement that I must hit. And let me tell you why the title is what it is, because fantasy football seems to be a thing that a lot more people are interested in compared to fantasy baseball. I personally enjoy fantasy baseball 100 times more, but the purpose of what you are listening to right now is the beginning of what I believe will be a series throughout the season of we are going to keep track of how my three fantasy football teams do this year. And we're going to talk about it and we're going to figure out because I want to be good. I'm in leagues with like my family and friends and shit. So I can't go 0 for 3. That's what's going on here. I did not win any last year. Usually I can get lucky and win one, even though I'm way less emotionally invested in fantasy football. But I'm in 3 fantasy football leagues, okay? I gotta win one of them. I gotta win the household for one, and I gotta just know that I can manage that victory. Because another fun fact, my like 5 fantasy baseball teams this year, mostly atrocious. I've got one winning team, and that team may not even win the league, and that's in my league. So it's like I'm the commissioner of that one. So it's like it's not as satisfying. I don't know. I'm just bitching for the first 2 minutes, I guess. Long story short, it's not, the whole the whole show is not going to be fantasy football. I'm making that clear. It's like a weekly check-in type deal. So, and this is the first episode of it. So, in my real hope, I want to do more stuff with fantasy baseball because that's where I actually know a lot and I love talking about that shit. And I have before. I'm going to put a playlist together to put it on the Moose Media YouTube channel because I want to keep talking about that because this off season I'm going to be dealing with how did I get to where I got where all my teams suck. I'm going to be doing analysis out the wazoo. I'm going to be ranking the trades I made. We're going to be doing a lot of shit. But fantasy football, and I get it. I understand why more people enjoy it, and it makes sense. But my eventual goal, if I can sell anybody on fantasy baseball, that would be an absolute joy, is where I'll just end that preamble part. So there you go. First episode doing this though, so this will be fun. I've got 3 teams. We're only talking about the first 2 in this one. I've got to do the draft for the third team, which that team is 12 teams total, and it has a bigger bench. So these first 2 teams we're talking about in this inaugural episode are just the basic ESPN format, the one league has some slight like point boosters for like really big games. That's the league that I'm a commissioner of. And that's pretty much the only difference. These are both 8 teams, PPR league. I've got 2 teams. We got the Big Dogs. That team is a family league. This is the 3rd year of the family league. And I have yet to win it. I have not won the family league yet. So there's that. And this is the first year of PPR in that league too. So first 2 seasons of this were not PPR. My decision, and but it was time to get into PPR. You got to move with the times. It's that will definitely be the last time I'm ever playing not PPR. So I savored it. PPR is preferred. I've come around to it by now. Second team, Big Mean Carl's Jr. That is the government name of Amanda and I's new cat. He's orange. His name is Carl. He's a good boy, but he's also a problem. Anyway, so we're going to be tracking because I actually put some thought, I want to win. I need to win one of these leagues. And in the second episode, we're going to talk about the big team, the 12 team league, Adam, good Lord. We're going to talk about that one because that's the one that I did the most preparation for. These two teams I did not do a ton of preparation for, but you can see slightly different strategies. So, whatever. The whole point of this is to see if I am smart and know what I'm talking about in fantasy football, because this was going to be the year that I was really like, yeah, I know what I'm doing with fantasy baseball. Yeah, I can use this as an example to show. And the results were not there. To be completely honest, the results were not there in the baseball department. So we're going to spend some time looking at why. And then by 2026, we're laying it out on the line just like we are right now with the fantasy football. So the big dogs, first pick, I believe I had the 4th overall pick. I got Jamar Chase. Second round, I got Amon-Ra St. Brown. 2 very good wide receivers to lead off. Third pick, Bucky Irving of the Bucks. That's funny sentence. 4th round, Lamar Jackson. Quarterbacks were going fast, so, that was – I feel good with Lamar. 5th pick, Chuba Hubbard of the Panthers. Hopefully that works out. That team is weak in the running backs, is a defining trait of them. I like Lamar. The wide receivers are great. I hope that'll be good enough. Jawan Jennings was my last pick in this draft, in case you care. On the bench, I got Tony Pollard. I think Quinshawn Judkins of the Cleveland Browns, who I think has not even signed a contract yet. Keon Coleman of the Bills. Jalen Waddle of the Dolphins. He missed a lot of time last year. My backup quarterbacks are Jordan Love, Kyler Murray. Overall, pretty good team. Should work out. I made the playoffs both years in this league, so hopefully it works out. And so there's that team. Second team, Big Mean Carl's Jr. First pick, Jamar Gibbs. I'm a big fan of that. Big Gibbs guy. Ashton Genty, pick number 2. 2 solid running backs. Guess what? Round 3, we got Jonathan Taylor. I like this team more. We got the 4th pick, Ladd McConkey. I think I had the second round. I had the 2nd overall pick in this one too. So I'm pretty sure it was Jamar Chase, and then I got Jamar Gibbs. I said Ladd McConkey in the 4th round, first wide receiver there. Jalen Hurts in round 5. Quarterback's going fast once again. And hopefully Jalen Hurts throws a little bit more. Are people going to start stopping his running in tush-push bullshit? Who knows? Last pick was Rashad Bateman of the Baltimore Ravens. From what I understand, this guy's fast. And he's a younger wide receiver, so who knows? Hopefully he breaks out. I've also got running backs, Cam Scatterbo, the guy from, I don't remember what school he went to, but real hard-nosed runner, real big dog, I would say. He's not on the team called the Big Dogs, but, J.K. Dobbins on the Broncos now, and then Aaron Jones Sr., who is on the Vikings and hopefully getting a good amount of the carries. From what I understand, fantasy football strategy, you draft running backs and wide receivers and such for your bench who you just hope to God that their team situation works out for them to get the ball a lot. Because the whole bench on both these teams, I see positives and I see like really good things. Like theoretically, you're like, yeah, these guys should be successful, is my thought, especially with the teams being that small. Like you look at everybody you got and you're like, hey, this is pretty good. But, you never know until you see the kind of team that you got going on, I feel like, as far as the NFL team, not my fantasy team. Does that make sense? It makes sense. Bo Nix is also my backup quarterback on that team. And the wide receivers, I've got Marvin Harrison Jr. on both teams, actually. So on this team, I got wide receiver bench, Marvin Harrison Jr. plus Xavier Worthy. I'm a fan of that. I feel like I covered the wide receivers pretty good. I got Jackson Smith Njigba. We're going to say Jigba because that's a scary name. So Smith and Jigba, good Lord, that's scary, is the wide receiver 2 currently on that team. I should go through the entire team. So Big Mean Carl's Jr., Texans defense, Jake Bates is the kicker. I'm a fan of all that. I didn't even write that down in my plan, but, I like where both of those are. That's fine. I don't give a fuck about the tight end. I'll tell you that. I could care less about drafting a good tight end in fantasy football anymore. It is the biggest coin flip. You have no fucking clue unless it's like the 2 best guys during the season, and I feel like you don't truly find that out until the season starts. Like, I think that's just some straight fucking knowledge right there. There's no way I'm the only one seeing what's happening. That's part of what pissed me off about fantasy football, because you used to be able to rely on like five guys, and I don't believe that anymore. You just never fucking know. So tight ends, I truly did not give a fuck. Sam Laporta's the tight end on the big dogs, and I got him late. I know I got him late. Where did I drafted 52nd. That's not premium tight end price, but I think he had a down year last year, so hopefully he gets he 700 yards, 7 touchdowns. Could have been worse, but I think his year before that was way fucking better. So there's that. Let's do defense and kicker on the big dogs here, and then I think this will be it for this first episode. Vikings defense, that's fine. They're going against the Bears first week, and then Jake Elliott at kicker. See, I mean, those two things are fine. Kicker and defense are fine in an 8-team league. You can feel good about that until one of them really starts fucking up. I feel like that's what I've learned. So, it's not hard to get a kicker and a defense you like, and if your defense starts fucking up, like, who's available right now? Like, who knows? Cardinals, Bears put in a good defense last year, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but they 10% rostered in ESPN. So there's that for you. But yeah, if your defense starts sucking, just pick up another defense. Packers defense is probably free in both these leagues. So, and they got Michael Parsons. So I don't know if people are putting stock into that yet or what. But yeah, anyway, there it is. I don't know what else to say. Hopefully my teams are good. That'll be fun. Stand-up comedy, I've got a show at Flashback Studios this upcoming Wednesday. I want to say September 3rd. And then September 19th, I will be back at the Ice House. That's always a great time. My third show at the Ice House, that place is fantastic. And anything else show related, go to Instagram, Adam__ Reinhardt. It's on there. I post most of the comedy stuff there. I'm trying to branch it out a little bit. Show at the Fourth Wall, September 17th as well as the Zebra Room on the 25th of September. So those are the dates I've got so far confirmed for this month. As always, you can get, I believe it's, what is it? I think it's 10% off W Energy at w.gg. Use code Bullpen. I can't say the word code, apparently. Use code Bullpen to get a discount. It's a neat way to support the show, and I enjoy that beverage. I think that's it for me. Next episode will be, I didn't mention baseball. Imagine that. We close out the whole fucking thing. Well, how about this? The Cardinals are just absolutely abysmal at the moment. They lost 11-2 to the A's today. I saw J.J. Bleday hit 2 home runs. I don't even hate J.J. Bleday, but that is absolutely not good news. Sonny Gray got lit up for 7 earned runs. I saw not too long ago the attendance. It was either a Monday or Tuesday game last week against the Pirates, and it was the first time Busch Stadium threes had below 20,000. I think it was 17 or 18 something thousand in attendance. And the actual number in attendance was lower than that. That's the depressing part. So the Cardinals are going to be hearing, a respectful word from me a little bit more often. Also, I mentioned fantasy baseball not going well. There's one team that, I've been in the league for, I want to say now it's 4 years, and I've taught the Lavert Clawford fan club. I've talked about that team a good amount in the fantasy baseball related things on this podcast. And, I'm really invested in that team. I want them to do well because I want to win that league badly. And I've been platooning second base, and guess who hit a home run? Zach Geloff on my bench, because I'm like, yeah, let's just switch out guys at second base. I can do that. I'm doing that with catcher, too, and that's been my late season strategy. I'm currently in 9th, I believe, and that is not where I wanted this season to go. That league is a complete redraft league, so these players will not carry over to next year. Still a shame. But we're going to be getting into that more and more. Yeah, 9th place out of 12. That's a damn shame. So, Zach Geloff, I'm glad you're doing good. I should have put you in. My bad. And Aroldis Chapman is doing incredibly well this year. He's like, I want to say 37. The Red Sox just gave him an extension. That's a tough word too. Extension cord. Congratulations, Aroldis Chapman. If you're listening this far, I really do appreciate it. This was a fun episode. I like how I casually forgot to fulfill my baseball obligation before wrapping this one up. That was fun and hilarious to me. So, again, if you're listening this far, I appreciate it. And next episode, I'll be talking about how I did this 12-team draft and if I like that team, because I'm trying not to suck at fantasy football. That's really all I want to do. Come watch some comedy if you're in Los Angeles. And again, I will be back. Don't know how to end it. Carl's orange and fat. All right, goodbye.